January has come and gone so quickly. I often feel like the days are flying by and I often can't remember what I did. But I remember being happy. I guess that's what matters the most. I spent the last month mostly working and reading, setting up goals and failing at them very quickly, setting up new ones and making plans for the future. I guess what most of us do at the beginning of the year. I've been planning on vlogging for a while now, but something always stops me from picking up the camera. I felt as though I wasn't ready. I felt as though I needed to do something interesting, something exciting for people to want to watch it. But then when I think about the videos I like to watch, it's always the quiet ones, the ones where people just be, where they live normal, boring, quiet lives like my own. And so it's time to pick up the camera and start all over again. It is the 4th of February already. I haven't filmed a reading vlog in such a long time that it doesn't really feel natural. I don't even know what to say on camera. It is Saturday, so I have off of work and I'm planning on spending the majority of the day reading, although I do have a few other tasks that I need to take care of, most of them indoors. I also need to order groceries and clean my fridge because I don't know if you have that, but every now and then I will realize that my fridge is the most disgusting place in my house. I don't know how that ends up happening. I just keep on putting things there and sometimes I forget that they're there. So I need to be more aware of the things that I have and make sure that I go through them fully before I get new ones. I also need to do some laundry and edit a book haul video that I filmed, I don't know, like a week ago and still haven't had the time to go through fully through the footage. So I'll be doing that. But besides that, I have nothing else to do but read and I am so excited to do that. What am I reading? Well, last night I actually finished Valor by John Gwynne. I want to say that I had the best time reading it, but I didn't. I love this book, don't get me wrong. I gave it 4.5 stars, but I didn't love reading it because there are some very frustrating things happening in this book and I was fuming at some places reading them. John Gwynne really knows how to write a villain you can hate. And so I'm done with this one, but yesterday I started reading Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. This is one of my books for the, Buzzword Reading Challenge by Kayla from Books and Lala. I'll link her channel in the video description. So I started reading it. The buzzword for February was verbs. So catching is the verb that I chose. And I read The Hunger Games, the first book in the series, 3 years ago for the first time. I had watched the movies but never read the series. And I read the first book and loved it. And then I was thinking of continuing with the series. In fact, I was thinking of picking it up right away, but something happened. I don't know what, and I didn't. And so now I'm picking this one up for the first time. And again, having the best time. I think this is the first book in a long time where I don't mind the first person narrative. I know that a lot of people prefer first person, but I personally don't. I prefer third person. But here, it's really well done and I'm enjoying it quite a lot. In fact, I'm almost at, 30% of the book. Oh, actually, I am way past 30% of the book. So great success for just a day of reading. And I'm enjoying it. I think The Hunger Games got a lot of hype back in the day, and the one that started the hype around dystopian, and I can understand why. It's very well written. But I would like to start another book today just to have, I like to read multiple books at the same time, like at least 2. So if I'm not in the mood for reading one of the things, I can read the other one. And I'm not sure what to pick from my TBR for February. I have 4 of the other books that are my TBR. I have 2 others that aren't here. I think Royal Assassin and The Black Company. I don't own them as of yet. I'm waiting for them to arrive. I purchased them. But I have Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse. This one is a very strong competitor to be picked today. We have Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, Caliban's War by James S.A. Corey, and Hidden Riches by Nora Roberts, which is a wild card. I have never read anything by the author. The only reason I picked it up was because I needed to pick a book with trees on the cover. for my year in LDR reading challenge. Also because it's February, the month of love, and I decided it would be a good idea to read a book with romance in it. And I know that Nora Roberts tends to write romantic books, so we'll see how much I like it. I already read the prologue and it seems kind of like a family drama, so that's gonna be interesting. And I'm thinking I'm gonna pick it up around the 14th of February, so this immediately goes out that roster for today. Caliban's War, a little bit chunky for right now. I just finished the 700-page book, so I think I'm gonna leave this for a little bit later in the month. And then we have Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I am thinking maybe this one. This one seems quite fun, and I've been wanting to read it for the longest time, and I also like that it's very floppy, so we'll see. And then we have again the Titan's Curse, very short book, so I'm thinking maybe I can pick this one up and finish 2 books pretty quickly. And also I feel like reading some mindless adventures for children, and I think this is gonna be a great choice. I don't know, we'll see. For now, I'm gonna finish my coffee and do some cleaning around probably, and then go back to reading The Hunger Games. It is 10 p.m. and I just remembered that I'm actually filming a vlog, so I decided to update you. I feel like I haven't done anything today, although I managed to finish most of the stuff that I put on my to-do list. I cleaned a little bit of the fridge, and I was able to edit and just posted the vlog, the book haul that I mentioned earlier today. I didn't do any laundry because who cares, honestly. Let's talk about books. I was able to reach the 50% mark of Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, and I'm having the best time. Honestly, this book just reminded me how much I love dystopian, and now I feel kind of like reading a bunch of dystopian books, which is very unfortunate because I'm doing TBRs now, and that is slightly restrictive. So maybe if I am able to finish all the books that I have on my TBR earlier, I can sneak another dystopian book into my reading this month, maybe even the last one, Mockingjay. We'll see, I don't know. This is how I feel right now, but maybe I'll feel different tomorrow. Anyway, having the best time with this book. I think Hunger Games, as I mentioned earlier, really deserves its flowers, and I understand why it started all this hype with dystopian. I am gonna go have dinner, even though it's a little bit late, but I didn't have the time earlier, and I wasn't very hungry because we had late breakfast. I think I'm gonna spend the rest of the night just watching something, relaxing, maybe reading a little bit more, maybe starting another book. If not, I will start another book tomorrow for sure, and definitely will update you then. It is Sunday morning around 9 o'clock. I just woke up and my eyes are leaking, generally killing me because I spent so much time yesterday staring at things, reading, working on my computer. I wanted to make some coffee and sit down and do some reading, but I just realized that we had dinner pretty late last night, so this room is a total mess. I will insert a clip here for you to see. I need to clean really badly. It is a nice sunny day and I really don't want to be doing any cleaning, but honestly, who else is gonna do it? So let's get into that and then we can read. This is some leftover chicken that I leave for the cats after we're done eating. I'm trying to get them to eat meat, which they patently refuse to do. I think it's because they are used to eating kibble and wet cat food. I mean, not so much wet cat food, but mostly kibble. And they just refuse to eat meat or even fish. I don't know. This is the first time in my life I see a cat that doesn't like fish, but there you go. I have two of them now. And so I've been trying to get them to eat meat. And one of them, the gray one, actually has started eating some of the chicken, but she refuses to do it if I just give her pieces of meat. It has to be like leftovers from my plate. Otherwise, she will refuse to eat it. Absolutely. Go figure. So these are the kind of problems that I'm dealing with these creatures, and not the least of it. I'm gonna do some dishwashing, and then I will sweep around, clean dust, that kind of stuff, make coffee, and we're gonna read. It is almost 5 p.m. and I just realized that the weekend flew away and tomorrow is Monday. What a great thought to have. I think this is the worst thing about Sunday, that you spend the latter half of the day just thinking about the next day, which is terrible. Whatever. I wanted to update you on my reading because I didn't do a great job doing so this morning. I think I missed one of the books that I'm currently reading. But let's talk about Catching Fire. I am past halfway and well on my way to finishing it. I think I'm gonna either do so today or tomorrow in the morning before work. I'm having a good time, but I'm a little worried because we are way past half the book, but the games haven't started yet. And I'm wondering whether we're just gonna brush on them and then focus on other stuff. I'm assuming that's what's gonna happen because I can't imagine that we're gonna spend a lot of time talking about them, since again, more than half of the book has passed and we haven't gotten there. But I am still enjoying myself. I think it's a very well written book. What I noticed for the first time is how unlikable Katniss is when it comes to personality. I think she's not... I'm guessing she's not meant to be. She's a little selfish. And look, she's doing a lot of selfless things, but that doesn't change the fact that her thoughts are mainly selfish in a lot of ways, especially when you compare her behavior to that of Peeta. It's a big contrast, but I like it. I think the author has done really well with these characters and the way that she portrayed them and the way she contrasted them to one another, and then throwing Gale in the mix as well, who is a completely different person from either of them. And I don't think I watched the third Hunger Games movie, so I don't know who ends up with whom, and I'm not even sure whether it's the same pairing here in the book that it's in the movie, but I'm kind of rooting for Peeta, to be honest. Anyway, having a good time reading this. And then the other book that I started reading last night was The Titan's Curse, the third book in the Percy Jackson series. This is the book in which we meet the D'Angelo siblings, and I remember it being one of my favorite ones, so I'm very much looking forward to it. And then I started remembering things that are going to happen later on in this series, and then in the follow-up, The Heroes of Olympus or some such. And I have to be honest, I am so looking forward to continuing with this. I didn't think I would be this excited, but I am. I'm only a few chapters in, I think like 3 or 4 chapters in, but it's a good time and I'm very glad I picked this one up. So as I mentioned, it's almost 5 p.m. It's probably already 5 p.m. I have to have a call with my family at some point, but beyond that, I'm gonna make some tea and sit down and focus on reading these 2 books and hopefully be able to complete them within the next few days. Oh, by the way, I worked quite a lot on my TBR game. I think I'm gonna be ready with it for next month. If you haven't watched my last TBR, I think it's a good idea to do so because I called it a TBR game, but it was kind of a messy thing that I still enjoyed and I think it was nice, but I have such, I think, good idea for this TBR game and I'm so excited to make it. I already made the background for the board and now I have to arrange the tiles and such. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I had so much fun this morning doing that, or around lunch. I don't remember when I worked on it. So yeah, it was a good day. It's still a good day. The day is not over yet, but I wish that we had a few more days off. But anyway, let's go read. It is Monday morning, the 6th of February, I think, and I just completed the second book in the Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and I am giving this book 5 stars. I had such an amazing time reading this. Couldn't possibly have enjoyed it more, and I am definitely going to pick up the third one, Mockingjay, pretty much right after. I think I'm going to try to go through the rest of my TBR for February 1st, but once I'm done with those, or in between, if I can sneak it in my TBR, I will definitely do that. This is a great series. It got me so much into dystopian now. I just want to read dystopian all the time. Usually the middle book in a lot of trilogies is kind of a bummer. Feels like a chore you need to do before you can get to the really good part. But this time, this was so well done, and I was so worried that we wouldn't have enough time for the games because, you know, the setup for those took such a long time. But to be honest with you, this was perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better middle book. The games were so nicely made. I think the author has a real knack for creating terrible situations that feel somewhat cozy. I also like the way that she reveals the mysteries in her stories. Because it's a first person and we're in the main character's head, it takes a little bit of thinking on her part for things to be revealed. We don't just wait for people to tell her things, but she actually takes the time and finds them out. And I really like how the book ended too. The sentence, oh my God, iconic. Really loved it. It's not very often recently that a young adult book gets me so enthralled and so excited to be reading it, but this was perfect. I don't know why it took me so long to continue reading this series and really to get into it, but well done. This author is a genius, at least so far. We'll see how the series is gonna end. Sometimes the last book ends up being a flop, and I really hope that's not the case. I'm hoping that I'll be able to read it this month. It's actually right over there. This one. Great experience reading this book, and I think I'm gonna end my reading vlog here. I had such a great weekend, although it passed by quite quickly. It was so nice and relaxing, and I could do the things that I like, and I could do a little creative work on the side, and I could read some nice cozy books. So yeah, I am now gonna put myself in a more presentable attire and go to my desk to do some actual work and begin my work week. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. As I said in the beginning, it's usually nothing spectacular. My life is pretty boring, but I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope it brought a little piece to you to see how the rest of us live. Please let me know if you are vlogging yourself. I would love to subscribe to your channel and watch your videos. I do enjoy watching other people's vlogs. I think this is one of my favorite things to do. I wish you all a great week, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye.